we are currently in the midst of what is being largely considered a controversial hot take, in which case, compared to what we've heard from sports media members over the last 10 plus years, maybe even 20 years or more, this is nothing. And this nothing is Cam Newton having Jalen Hurts outside of his top 10 quarterback list. And I don't even want to give a synopsis on what he said. Let's hear from the man himself.
And I know everybody's going to get mad at this. Cam hating on Jalen Hurts. It's hard for me to grade Jalen Hurts with the talent that he has around him. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. But if we're talking about what they bring to the table holistically, it's hard to judge what Jalen Hurts can do when you're throwing to a guy like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. When you have tight end skill set, you have a dominant defense, the best running back in the game. Download Madden and see how many stars is on the offensive side of Philly. Like you got King Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, those guys, that's cool. But when you're comparing, Lamar Jackson still shows you why he's an elite player. Josh Allen has to play elite in order for them to play. Lamar Jackson has to play at a high level for the Baltimore Ravens, even though that they have a dominant defense. Patrick Mahomes, he got a lot of talent. But boy, oh boy, you can't put no John Doe in Patrick Mahomes and think that they still gonna win the way they win it. I understand that. Jalen Hurts does not have to play elite for the Philadelphia Eagles to win. He has to play good, but he doesn't have to play elite. We're not asking you to win the game. We're just asking you not to lose it. When you ask that question, are we winning because of you, solely because of you, or is it the resources around you? So game changer, game manager, those are the things that you have to ask yourself. And those are the metrics that I'm going off of. It's like, bro, even when the tush push, you got 5 people pushing you, bro. You got a solid group around you, dog. And the man who Jalen Hurts is, bro, I respect him. I take my hat off to him. But just because he's a great guy, that don't mean I can't critique his game.
Nothing he said was disrespectful. He gave his analysis with reasoning and evidence to back up what it is that he's saying. Now, there is one thing I do disagree with in Newton's take for Jalen Hurts outside of the top 10. But I'll get to that in just a second. And I only want to focus on the analysis because we're starting to get off the tracks here, because now things have been made personal, not just by the internet, and that's the internet. The internet is going to be the internet and do stuff like this all the time. Nothing you can do about it. But personal shots between Cam Newton and Ryan Clark and Cam Newton and Gilly the Kid. I'm not going to focus on that because we're getting off topic here by doing that. Cam Newton is getting ripped to shreds right now. He's outside of my top 10, Jalen Hurts. This is not surprising to me by any means. Outside top 10, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. On this channel, after the Eagles beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I got on this very channel, made a whole ass video praising the Eagles for how they put together that championship team. Look at all of these facets: the offensive line, the defense, the wide receivers, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts. While I don't think he's a tier 1 quarterback, I think he's a really good quarterback. And when I say tier 1 quarterback or any position, I'm talking about top 5. I said he's not a tier 1, top 5 quarterback. And you would think, based off of Eagles fans, Eagles fans, they found that video and whooped my ass in the comments section. It was crazy. But you would think, after all the praising that I did, where the only thing I'm not as high on is the quarterback position, he's good, but he's not tier 1, you would think these Eagles fans thought that I stole their puppies. And real quick, I want to go back as far as the only thing I want to mention within the personal shots taken specifically between Cam Newton and Ryan Clark. I don't like the argument of stats versus stats as far as trying to prove who's the better analyst, because most of us damn near all of us, and I'm talking about us, me, every single viewer out there, for the most part, we never played football professionally. We don't have any NFL stats that I'm aware of. Does that mean that our opinions don't matter? That we don't know how to give an analysis based off of what we see from our two eyeballs? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But Jalen Hurts has the best surrounding cast around him. And yet he threw 18 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Not bad, but not great. And I know he ran for another 14 touchdowns, but I am willing to bet that over 50% of those touchdown runs were off of the tush push. And I'm not criticizing him for having the luxury of that supporting cast, but let's be real here. Jalen Hurts gets to snap the ball behind the best offensive line in football, who is also coached by the offensive line, the best offensive line coach in the league. He then has the luxury to either hand the ball off to the best running back in football or throw to one of, I would say, a top 3 wide receiver tandem in football. Oh, and then by the way, he has the number 1 defense in the sport that can get him the ball back lickety split. Are we really going to sit here and ignore the fact that the Eagles have the best overall roster in the league? Number 1 offensive line, best running back in football, was an MVP candidate, ended up winning Offensive Player of the Year, top 3 wide receiver tandem, number 1 defense in the league. We're supposed to sit here and pretend like that's no big deal for a guy who threw 18 touchdown passes? Real talk, the real star for the Eagles is Howie Roseman and how he's put this roster together. And I don't think he's not a top 5 quarterback to me. Now, Cam Newton saying outside top 10, that's a bit wild. Like, I can't go that far. But me saying that Jalen Hurts is outside the top 5 and we still want to raise all holy hell is wild to me. And I'm not moving off of that take. I said what I said.